You're likely aware if you've been following my channel, I'm currently replacing a gas combi boiler with an air to water system. And many people have been asking in the comments, why not go for air to air? Why not go for ground to water system? Well, this video is going to be talking about the pitfalls about all the systems, air to water and ground to water. But also why if you're in the UK at the moment, the best choice for pretty much everybody is going to be an air to water system. Now, if you're not aware what a heat pump is, it is almost like magic the way a heat pump works. It effectively uses different types of phase changing chemicals inside the heat pump, so usually a gas like propane or refrigerant gas, and it's the same way your fridge works at home. So it basically gets this gas, uses a compressor, and that compressor separates the hot air and the cold air, or the hot gas and the cold gas in this phase changing material, and then puts in either the heat or the cold to wherever you want it. So for example, in your fridge at home, you'll always feel at the back of the fridge where the refrigerant lines run, those zigzags at the back, that's red hot, but obviously the inside of your fridge is cold. So that is basically what a heat pump's doing. It's transferring the hot and cold from one place to another. And even when it's 0 degrees outside, 0 Celsius is not actually the proper temperature. If you look at Fahrenheit, there's still plenty of temperature left in 0C. Let's start off with ground to water system. Now, ground to water system is basically as it sounds. It's extracting heat in the ground. The ground is physically warmer than the outside or the air around it, and it's extracting that warmth from the ground, then taking it into the house and then separating that phase change material again, which then heats the water in a tank. Now, the way ground to water differs is ground to water, you need to run a series of pipes, slinkies basically, slink pipes all over your garden. This requires digging up your garden, and obviously you're going to have to use a lot of surface area. As a rough rule of thumb, you need the same surface area in the garden with these pipes as you have on the inside of your house. So quite a large garden. I don't have that size garden, so I don't have that luxury, but also bear in mind that you can borehole, you can go straight down, and the deeper you get into the ground, the warmer it gets. So you don't tend to need as much depth as you would in a straight line, but boreholes are also very expensive to have done and not really in an ideal area for that. If you're in an area of high granite, you would extract quite a lot of heat, but again, these things are very expensive. The benefit of ground to water systems is because the ground is a lot warmer than the outside air, because obviously the earth core has magma in it and ground and heat sort of penetrate it, it means that it's a lot cheaper to run. But usually the cost outweighs any payback on these systems, so bear that in mind. So you might think air to air seems like the most obvious choice next, but air to air is actually one of the cheapest systems to install, cheaper than air to water. So you might think, why have I not gone for this? Well, most countries in the world used to air. It's very popular in Norway, but it's also extremely popular in warmer climates like California. It's basically an air conditioning system. It's got the same big casket outside as an air conditioning system, and it has the same internal caskets inside as an air conditioning system, which means it can do heating and cooling depending on what time of the year it is. It basically reverses the air conditioning system to do heating in the winter, and then reverses again to do air conditioning. Now, that means that you do get the benefit of 2 types of systems installed, but there's a couple of reasons why we don't go for this. One, it can be a noisier casket inside and outside. It can run a little bit noisier than an air to water system, but also the air being blown over your skin can give it a cooling effect even when it's warming, which means sometimes you might have to higher the temperature in your house, run the heat pump less effectively, heating the house warmer to get the same warmth benefit. And then when it stops blowing, it might feel too warm. So it can kind of work against itself a little bit there. But also, the biggest problem, especially for me, is it won't heat my water, which means that I still need to find a secondary method to heat my hot water for showering. So I'd still need to install a cylinder as if I was installing a heat pump, or if I keep my boiler in for heating the hot water, in which case I want to get away from gas, so that also doesn't solve my solution. And also, I'd like to disconnect the gas completely so I can save about 20 quid a month just in standing charge. So now we move over to air to water. Air to water, as I said, has the same type of outdoor unit as air to air. And that unit, instead of heating, blowing hot air through the house, having a fan blow over the air, it'll heat a cylinder for hot water for your house for showering, but also heat the system for the wet radiator system. Now here in the UK, we already have wet radiator systems. So we have a system where the gas boiler heats the water, and then that hot water travels through copper pipes or plastic pipes, in my case in the house, and that water then goes to radiators, basically large metal containers that then basically have the natural air flowing over them, and that radiator releases the heat to the room. They don't work too effectively at cooling, but we'll come back to explore this in the future. But basically, it doesn't really, it distributes the heat much more evenly, which means you don't get that cold blowing effect that you get with air to air. It means the house feels naturally warmer. You can run it at very, very, cool temperatures on the air to water, so you get a little bit more efficiency out of it. It means the system's not working hard. It means it runs a little bit quieter. There's no internal noise because it's just water running through your radiators like it normally would. But it also means that I can use the heat pump to heat the hot water instead of an immersion heater in the tank, which means it can be cheaper. Now, if you have already got a cylinder tank, it will be a lot cheaper for you to install. If you've got me like a combi, you'll need to install a cylinder tank somewhere, so bear that in mind. That is one disadvantage. If you haven't got a place to put a cylinder tank, air to air might be better. But why did I go to air to water instead of air to air, when air to air has the benefit of air conditioning? Now, before I tell you why I've gone for it, if you're interested in learning more about heat pumps and you want to follow my journey, then make sure you click subscribe and that notification bell, because there's going to be videos when I get my heat pump installed. There's some provisional work I need to do, and there's already some videos on the playlist already. So make sure you click subscribe, hit the notification bell, because you might miss the next video. But basically, the reason I've gone for air to water is because there's a £7,500 government grant, and it's not applicable to air. It has to heat hot water, so only ground to water and air to water are applicable. But this means that for my system, this £7,500 grant means that I'm paying less than £1,400 fully installed for my heat pump system. Now, if you want to realise what's in the quote, how they do the quote, I've done a video here with Optimus Energy about how they did the quote on system quote on the phone. But also, there's a link down below to split £200 with me if you want a heat pump off Octopus.